Every overpowered ability Sun Wukong mastered explained. 72 things, that's what most people think Sun Wukong can transform into. 72 shapes, 72 forms. Like he's some limited edition character with a locked ability tree. That is completely wrong. And the actual truth is so much more insane. The number 72 was never a limit. It was a warning. The Di Sha Qi Shur Er Bien, the 72 earthly transformations, is not a list of 72 preset forms. It is a full, open-ended Daoist magic system. The number 72 refers to the power tier of the spell, not a cap on what he can become. He can transform into effectively anything, any bug, any beast, any building, any weapon, any monster, any god. Anything with a physical shape is fair game. But here's where it gets deep. This specific spell is classified as earthly magic, terrestrial cultivation, designed to survive what Daoist doctrine calls the three calamities. Every being that cultivates immortality eventually faces three catastrophic divine punishments from heaven: one of fire, one of thunder, and one of wind. These aren't normal attacks. These are extinction-level events sent by the cosmos itself to reset the balance. The 72 earthly transformations gives Wukong the power to endure, overcome, and walk away from all three. Fire calamity, survived. Heavenly wind, outlasted. Divine thunder, he walks through it and keeps moving. Now his master Puti Laozu, or Patriarch Subhuti, actually offered him a choice. He could learn the 36 heavenly transformations instead, a higher tier, more prestigious spell set. Wukong heard 36 and heard less than 72 and immediately picked the bigger number. No further analysis. That is pure gamer logic, and it worked out perfectly. So you've got a fighter who can become virtually anything. Now imagine that fighter makes 10,000 copies of himself. This is Shern Wai Shern Fa, the body outside of body technique. And yes, this is the original shadow clone. Naruto did not invent this. The Monkey King was running this mechanic in 1592. Here is how it works at the mechanical level. Sun Wukong has 84,000 hairs across his body. These hairs are not decorative. They are loaded with magical potential energy, each one a vessel for his life force. He plucks a handful, puts them in his mouth, chews them, and shouts, "Bien," or change. Every single hair he chewed becomes a perfect, fully functional clone of Sun Wukong. Each clone carries a duplicate of his staff. Each clone can fight independently. He can flood an entire battlefield with thousands of versions of himself simultaneously, and they all hit with real force. This is the moment battles stop being fights and start becoming floods. This isn't a distraction technique. It is a full AoE swarm ability that buried entire celestial armies under a wave of screaming monkeys. And when the clones have done their job, he calls them back, and the hairs return to his body. In practice, virtually no cost. Effectively, infinite reuse. If this were a video game ability, it would be patched into the ground within a week. But even 10,000 clones can feel small when you understand what his third power does to the laws of physics. Fa Tian Xiangdi, which translates to modeling heaven, symbolizing earth. This is the cosmic giant form, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Soon Wukong grows to 10,000 feet tall. His head rises to the level of a mountain peak. His eyes become the sun and the moon, literally radiating golden and silver light. His voice, when he shouts, carries across the entire spiritual realm like a thunderclap from the edge of existence. His staff grows with him, matching his new scale, and at that size, he's not fighting in the world anymore. He is the world. In Daoist cultivation theory, this spell represents the practitioner merging with the cosmic order itself, becoming a physical manifestation of heaven and earth in balance. It is not a rage mode. It is not a desperation button. It is a statement. Wukong reserves Fa Tian Xiangdi for elite-tier opponents, generals of the Celestial Army, beings who have survived thousands of years of divine cultivation. He saves it for the fights where he needs the other side to understand what they stepped into. In Black Myth, Wukong, When you see that transformation sequence and the world shrinks beneath him, that is the developers doing their homework. That imagery comes directly from the original text. But raw power without the ability to cross a battlefield in seconds is just a big target. Here is where Wukong's kit becomes genuinely unfair. Jin Tho Yuin, the somersault cloud, a single backflip, one rotation, and he travels 108,000 li. That is approximately 34,000 miles in a single jump. The circumference of the entire Earth is about 24,900 miles. Soon, Wukong is outrunning the planet in one move. This is not flying, he is not gliding or hovering. He is executing a single gymnastic flip and landing on the other side of the known world. In any game with a movement system, this is not a travel ability. It is teleportation with style. In practice, the text describes no meaningful cooldown and no stamina cost. He just does it. Now pair that mobility with his eyes, Huo Yen Jin Jing, the fiery golden eyes. This one was not trained, this one was forged through suffering. After Wukong's initial rampage through heaven, the Jade Emperor had him captured and handed over to the Daoist god Taishang Laojuin for execution. Laojuin threw him into his Bagua furnace, an 8-trigram alchemical furnace burning at spiritual temperatures that should reduce any being to ash, and sealed it for 49 days. Wukong survived. Not comfortably, he was being cooked the entire time. But he survived. And when the furnace opened and he burst out, his eyes had been permanently altered. The smoke inside the furnace irritated his eyes continuously during those 49 days, and the magical fire transformed that damage into power. He now sees through virtually every illusion, every disguise, every demonic transformation in existence. A demon king wearing the face of a humble monk? Wukong clocks it immediately. A god hiding their true form? Detected. A shapeshifter in perfect disguise? Detected. It is a permanent passive buff with no meaningful exceptions in the source text. The one weakness that came with it? Smoke. His eyes are permanently sensitized to it. Blow enough smoke at him and his vision degrades. That is the only known counter to the fiery golden eyes in the entire novel, and this is where things get genuinely disrespectful. Ding Shern Fa, the immobilize spell. This is Wukong's hard CC ability. He points at a target, shouts Ju or freeze, and they stop. Completely. Mid-motion, mid-sentence, mid-attack. Frozen in place like someone hit the pause button on their existence. The targeting on this spell is effectively unlimited in the novel. He freezes individual targets, he freezes groups, and the spell works on beings of significant cultivation. Lower-level demons and celestial soldiers have virtually no resistance to it. Against stronger opponents, he sometimes needs other techniques. But for crowd clearing, this is a one-word, near-zero cooldown ability that hard-locks entire squads. And the way he uses it is what makes it legendary. There is a scene in Journey to the West where Wukong sneaks into the Garden of Immortal Peaches, the queen mother of heaven's private orchard containing the most sacred fruit in existence. Divine beings cultivate for millennia for the chance to eat one of these peaches. The garden is tended by 7 celestial maidens, hand-picked servants of the highest court in heaven. Wukong finds the ripest peaches on the highest branches. The 7 maidens are right there. And instead of leaving, instead of being remotely subtle, he casts Ding Shern Fa on all 7 of them simultaneously, freezes them where they stand. Then he climbs the tree, eats immortal peaches at his leisure, takes a nap in the branches, and leaves. 7 celestial maidens, frozen, because he wanted a snack. The audacity of this man cannot be measured in any known unit. Now we get to the final stat, the one that made heaven panic, the one that explains why, even with every god, every general, every divine weapon in existence pointed at him, they could not kill Sun Wukong. It is not 1 layer of immortality, it is 7. Layer 1, Daoist cultivation. Through his training under Patriarch Subhuti, Wukong mastered the path of immortality through meditation and internal alchemy, standard for a top-tier cultivator. But this is just where the stacking begins. Layer 2, the Book of Life and Death. Every living being in existence has their name, their lifespan, and their death recorded in the underworld's ledger, managed by the 10 kings of hell. When Wukong's time came and death demons dragged him down to the underworld, he did not accept his fate. He grabbed the ledger, found his name, and crossed it out. Then, he crossed out the names of every monkey in his kingdom. The underworld had no legal authority over him anymore. Death's bureaucracy was defeated with a pen. Layer 3. The immortal peaches. The ones he stole from the Queen Mother's garden while those 7 maidens were frozen stiff. Each one of those peaches extends life by thousands of years. He ate multiple, the highest grade peaches in that garden. The ones that ripen once every 9,000 years grant immortality itself upon consumption. Layer 4. The Jade Emperor's immortal wine. While causing chaos at the Peach Banquet, a gathering of every major deity in heaven, Wukong found casks of divine wine brewed for the celestial court. He drank them, all of them, alone. This wine is described as adding further layers of divine protection and spiritual fortification to whoever consumes it. Layers 5, 6, and 7, Tai Shang Laojuin's golden pills of longevity, the Jin Dan. These are the endgame crafting drops of the Daoist universe. Laojuin spent astronomical amounts of time and spiritual energy alchemizing these pills into gourds stored inside Tushita Palace, his private alchemy lab at the top of the celestial realm. Here is exactly what happened. After drinking the Jade Emperor's wine, a thoroughly drunk Wukong went wandering through heaven. He stumbled directly into Tushita Palace. He found Laojuin's gourds of Jin Dan sitting right there on the shelf, and he ate them, all of them. He tipped the gourds back like he was drinking juice, swallowed the most precious alchemical creations in the entire cosmos, and walked back out. Laojuin later threw Wukong into the Bagua furnace specifically to try to melt the pills back out of him. That is how valuable they were. Heaven did not put him in that furnace to execute him. They put him in there to do a refund. It did not work. The pills were already fully absorbed, already woven into Wukong's body at the cellular level, and the furnace only made him stronger. By the time Heaven assembled its full military force to deal with him, Sun Wukong had stacked so many immortality buffs that he had a permanent HP bar that could not reach 0. They tried beheading him. The sword bounced off. They tried burning him. He felt warm. They tried lightning. Nothing. The great sage equal to heaven was not a title he demanded out of arrogance. It was a damage report. He had genuinely broken the ceiling of what a mortal-born being could achieve, and heaven's entire armory had no answer for it. That is why it took a Buddha, not a god, not a general, not a cosmic weapon, a Buddha to finally contain him. And even then, they had to trap him under a mountain for 500 years. They couldn't kill him. The best play available to the entire heavenly realm was to press pause on him and wait. Sun Wukong didn't just challenge heaven, he forced it to admit it had limits. Every theft, every stolen immortality, every crossed-out name in the Book of Death was him proving that the system the gods built to contain mortals simply did not account for him. Please like and subscribe.